What up, YouTube? This is going to be super fast because I am finishing up my break. I only have 5 minutes and I got to get back on the road. I am 2.5 hours away from Drupa Valley. Been on the road since early this morning. So somebody asked a whole bunch of questions at one time. So I thought it'd be easier just to do it this way because I could talk faster than I could type. Go figure. Um, First of all, thank you for all the well wishes for the Baylor students. Um, when I gave y'all that information yesterday, the news hadn't even broke the story. I was actually getting the information from this girl who's like, I mean, she calls me mom. She's like a daughter to me. Locked in a basement with a professor holding an Arctic water bottle, and Baylor thought it would be cool to send out a tweet letting them know that there was a shooter in the area. So, um, thank God the shooters were not at Baylor. They actually made their way to the campus, and when they realized that people were freaking out and pulling out their phones, they actually scurried off. The police don't even say whether they did shoot a man at an apartment complex near the south, 3 blocks from the south entrance of the school. They shot him in the arm, which is it is what it is. I mean, they shot him in the arm. So obviously these people are not very smart. There was It was very random, as most of these things are. But thank God that the kids at the school are good. These idiots were turned away by all of the people noticing them, and it's still an ongoing investigation. So that's the deal with that. As far as the how often do I go home? Do I go home on the weekends? Do I work Monday through Friday? How many days a week I work? How much I pay? How much do rookies really make? I'm going to answer those questions really fast. With the exception of the times I've gone home for funerals, or the one time recently, 3 weeks ago, that I actually was in Houston during the same time I needed to reset, I never go home. That is by choice. To go home, so basically my schedule, because I'm an over-the-road driver, I'm almost never in Texas. I live in Houston. I'm almost never in Houston. So for me to go home, as with any other driver, with Swift specifically, for every 7 days you work, you earn a day off. That doesn't mean you get to pull over one day and say, you know what? I don't feel like getting out of the sleeper today. I'm going to go ahead and use that day off. That's not how it works. You accumulate the days off, and then you need to give Swift 2 to 3 weeks notice. You put in a home time request. Where you take your home time is up to you. You don't necessarily have to be at home, but you do have to get approval to take the time off. So just because you have said off days, you don't get to take them the way you want to. It has to be approved, and there's a process. My terminal really likes us to stay out for 18 days, go home for 3. Right now, I'm accumulating days so that I can take a whole week off from Christmas to New Year's. My husband's birthday happens to be on New Year's Day, and then, of course, Christmas with my kids would be awesome. I'm not all that crazy about trying to get home for Thanksgiving. If I do get to go home for Thanksgiving, it'll be a blessing. And if not, I'm not really, it's not something I requested off. So my terminal knows my family, as do most of the people in Houston. So if I get routed home for Thanksgiving, that'll be cool. If not, it's cool. I work 11 hours a day driving. I usually don't use too much of my off time. I just straight drive. It takes me 5-10 minutes at the most to change from drop and hook. Most of my stuff is live load, live unload, because of the way that I run. So I don't do a lot of off-duty stuff. So I would say on average I work maybe 12 hours a day. I do work 6 days a week because I choose to reset. So it's actually like 5.5 days a week. I get a 34-hour break at the end of my 70-hour week clock. I don't discuss my pay. Let's just say that, I came from the professional makeup land in TV world. I worked in television, and it's enough for me to stay away from my home and my family and all the people that I love, and still be happy about what I'm doing. My situation, I've been told, and I have realized that Not everybody's going to have a 100% success story like I have. I did change the description to my channel and literally put results may vary. I got very blessed with my driving management team, and they keep me paid. Just I've used it as an example before. I even made a video about it. Just with my mentor, I was making over $800 a week, and that was on the mentor's truck. So now that I'm out here by myself, running even harder than I was with him, it is. I will say that it's more than that. So asking people how much they make is like asking them how much they weigh or how old they are. It's just one of those things that you don't talk about. But I do say it's definitely more than I ever made with the mentor, and it's definitely enough to keep me to continue doing it. I wouldn't do this if it wasn't profitable for me. I think that answers all the questions. If you're going to come out here and you want to make the money, I always tell people that start asking about the money. Can you make money in trucking? Absolutely, you can make money in trucking. I could be making 2 or 3 and 4 times what I'm making now if I went to work with another company. But I chose Swift. I have a goal. Again, let me say this. If you're coming out here to put yourself in a better financial situation, or if this is going to be your sole source of income, really have your shit together at home, because there are down periods. Right now, Swift is paying me to drive 400 miles to get where there's better freight, because freight is slow right now. Holidays are coming up. That's going to change. But in the meantime, they're paying me to drive my empty trailer around. So there are slow periods. I don't rely on this. For this money goes towards something different. This is a business venture for me. I don't rely on this money to, keep food on the table back at home. My husband makes plenty of money. He's been doing it for years. I don't have to be out here, and I really need y'all to understand that I'm not out here. Am I out here to make money? Yes, everybody wants to make money. But the amount of money that I make has to be enough for me personally to feel like the sacrifice is worth it. I chose to do this for 1 to 2 years over the road so that I could stockpile the money I need for the capital for the business that I am doing. And Swift has gone above and beyond my expectations. Could I be making more money? Absolutely. But I don't like to burn bridges when I don't have to. I'm a very loyal employee. And, maybe some years down the road, I'll feel like driving for another company, but truck driving isn't what I plan on doing the rest of my life. So y'all need to take that into consideration when you see any YouTuber talking about the trucking industry. They'll talk you into coming out here, and then the next thing you know, you're homeless and on the side of the road. That's not my personal intention. I don't think it's anybody's intention, but the cold hard facts are it gets fucking slow out here. It does. For me personally, it hasn't gotten slow to where I'm like, oh, okay, I'm going home. And I haven't gotten slow to where I've made anything less than I ever made on the Mentor's truck. So I hope that you can read between the lines and figure the answers out to that question. You come out here if you want to make the money that you hear everybody talking about. You have to keep this truck moving. So if you're worried about things like going home, being home on the weekends to go chill or hang out or be at the club, or, even just being with your family, it's not going to happen. You can't do both unless you have 5 years experience under your belt and you go work for a different company. It's not going to happen. So if you're worried about being home every weekend, if you're worried about working long hours, don't do this. Like, flat out, don't do it. You need to leave that shit at home where it is. And you can't be bringing your problems from home out here on the road. You don't have time for it. So hopefully that answers y'all's questions. I got to get back out on this road. This thing will upload while I'm driving, no problem. If you have any more questions, leave them down below. Again, thank you for all the love and support. These group of kids that I know, especially the one in particular that I'm talking about from Baylor, not doing too good psychologically right now. So thank you for your continued prayers and support. These kids need it. All right, I will talk to y'all later. Bye.